Dear sister, yours is a complicated matter, so let me address it in parts. But before that, I want you to know that I'm just a shoulder to cry on and not some expert in the field, alright? So here we go. First off, ask your husband to grow a spine. Not in the sense of bhadkawing him against his mother or something, but come on, he must be blind if he doesn't see the mess his drunken mama has been creating for so many years now. On second thoughts, seek his counsel on the matter to take him in your stride. उसको अपनी side of the story बताओ. Tell him how you've been suffering from anxiety and depression because of the atmosphere in your house. Another clever thing to do would be to sleep your way through midnight with earplugs on and not get bothered at all by your Sasuma's inner Sholay ka Dharmendra rising up at midnight. Or simply show some concern for Mummy ji and her health and throw the sharab ki bottles away with your husband's help, because na rahega baas, na bajegi unki piyakkad basuri. If Mummy ji goes on a bhook hartal to stop this, make sure you're having butter chicken, dal makhni, pasta, or better still, sharabiyan the tikka in front of her. देखे तो सही मम्मी जी कब तक अन्ना हजारे बनी रहती है. On a serious note though, instead of apologizing to her for doing absolutely nothing, try knocking some sense into your mother-in-law. I know बहुत मुश्किल है, but एक आधी बार try करने में क्या जाता है? Tell her that because of her behavior, her own health is deteriorating, and so is the happiness of the family, especially her own son. As for the ghoonghat problem, you can spark a rebellion and cause fights also. However, you can introduce the concept of women's freedom gradually to your family as well. Start by taking the ghoonghat off and walking around the house for some time when the men are away. If Toko fights for it, you can say you're facing a difficulty in breathing or getting sweaty or getting hot flashes. Gradually just say, भूल गई, oops, and walk away. वो टोक टोक के थक जाएंगे और शायद गिव अप भी कर देंगे. As a more reasonable approach, your husband and your bhabhi's husband can help you too. Once both of you tell them that the ghunghats are pretty suffocating, or just make the men spend a day with their faces fully covered with a cloth. In fact, you can ask them this: don't you trust the fellow men in this house enough? Let's get to the positive parts of your situation now. Firstly, kudos to you for being supportive of a fellow woman, your bhabhi, even in such an adverse situation. How about you take it a notch up and take her help in handling your mother-in-law too? एक और एक 11, remember? The other thing is that you have maintained a safe distance from your Sasuma while still being so respectful. I think that's great. But just don't let this respect overshadow your own need to set boundaries, okay? Moreover, you don't have to take the tag of a bad bow to your heart. Thick skin, moti chamdi, remember? Do what you have to do because log to dekho hamesha hi kuch kahenge. Finally, the fact that you have identified and acknowledged the state of your mental health is a sign of your strength and intelligence. Now, what I'd love for you to do is to get in touch with a counselor and seek treatment for it before it gets any worse. If you want, I can send you contact numbers of a few good mental health experts to help you as well. Just drop me a DM or an email message. One last thing. I'm not sure if it makes sense, but it might just help if you look at your mother-in-law with some pity, you know. A widow, lonely, drunk, insecure, and absolutely miserable. Not an easy place to be. She's just projecting her own problems and anger onto you. Imagine how miserable she must be inside. Nope, you don't have to be her punching bag, but sometimes understanding the other person's perspective can help you cope with the situation better. Of course, if nothing helps, then your husband has to step in and take charge and make this stop. But unless you won't tell him to, he won't really act on it. So speak up, girl, and don't forget to write back to me in case you have something more to share. Much love, toodles.